you for joining us again. We are the Dice Jailers continuing campaign. Quick note for music in this. You will hear some in the background. It is provided by Sirenscape. They are awesome. I thank them for being really cool and just letting people use their shit. For going, hey, you want to use this on your stream? You can. So that's great. I've noticed some recurring names in the chat. I keep forgetting to write those down. So for those of you who keep watching us, seriously, thank you, because it's actually really cool to me that like, oh, we're telling this story, and some people out there care. I am your Dungeon Master, Bjorn Anders. This is everyone. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Not fucking saying it.
All right, I'll come up with another stupid joke. Jordan, what announcements do we have? I know we want to give much love to our friends at the Ugly Radio and Save the D8.
Yeah, we've got our usual watch and listen to our friends announcements. Save the D8, Ugly Radio, No Latency, Anti-Heroes Anonymous. There's also... Nope, that announcement can't happen yet. That's still a surprise for the future. Also, shout out to the Seattle Majestics, our women's football team winning their home opener this weekend.
Amazing. Good for them.
I was there. A friend of mine is their new head coach. And
that's right.
They're really great. No surprising new announcements other than our regular ones for now.
Yep, and there's another one that I'm looking forward to eventually getting to, but I'm not allowed to talk about that.
Don't you just love knowing things that you can't talk about? It's great.
Honestly, it is. All I will say is this. I'm going to get to be a guest DM for a local group for a handful of sessions for them, and I'm really, really excited about that, they reached out to me. And so when that happens, I will share that so that those things can be shared. But yeah, that was cool. I guess that brings us to the Jamie announcement.
Oh, hi. Guys, Ko-fi.com/dicejailers is where you would go if you wanted to give us actual human monies. Now, your reasons for doing that are, of course, your own, but let me suggest to you some reasons why you should. Say, for example, you just have too much money, like your Scrooge McDuck, and you can only have so much gold in the tower before it's like too packed, and then you can't swim in it. Well, if that's the case...
Money bin.
Wow. Okay. So if you want to pay to encourage this type of epic nerdery, that would be an excellent thing to do with your extra gold coins from your money bin that are impeding your swimming progress. Another reason would be that you find one or all of us delightful. I don't see why you wouldn't. But, that was awesome. Yeah. Don't you want, look how great Phoenix is. Look how cool he is. Shouldn't he have access to even more screens and stuff that he can somehow pull up with lightning speed? Man, I think, these, I'm not the one who would benefit, honestly, because I think of a joke, and then by the time I type it in, it's like 12 jokes ago. So, yeah. But someone like Phoenix, who has just the Google foo or something, and just immediately can pull up everything, look how great these would be. This is not planned, by the way. He is literally just that good. There are so many, many, many reasons why you should send us monies. I'm not going to bore you by listing more than the two that I've just made up off the top of my head. So, in conclusion, you can see on the screen, and I'm not going to point because I always get it wrong, but in one direction or another, there is, thank you, Jordan. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Our showcase showdown model, Jordan, is indicating where you can find our Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/dicejailers. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because I'm ADHD. And thank you very much for your attention, and money, please.
Also, Jamie, with the pointing, you're almost always right after, the first two times we had you do that.
Yeah. You're
self-confidence, buddy.
I was sure I was right last time, and I wasn't, and so now I'm in my head.
Oh, fair enough.
Is it that way?
Well, it's that way. Because last time you were in a different spot than you normally are.
Oh!
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's that way, as it usually is?
Yeah.
With that said, you all, We're just in the city of Nova Aurora, the capital city of the Thanamarian Empire, the shining star of the Empire. You had gone to the theater to see Wilhelm Rattlepike's new play, Ronso and Jovial, where Garnet was able to lift some sort of very fancy dagger from a patron by stealing her key card to the box where her weapons were locked up and got some platinum along with that. Prior to the show, Castian Oloro, one of the highest ranking members of the Census, the group of mage hunters within the Empire, tried to gain access to the private box of the Soul family where Mannix had all invited you, attempting to cast a suggestion spell on Mannix. Mannix counterspelled this, and the level of attention rose a bit, realizing if Castian is willing to just use magics aggressively in public, perhaps he's definitely someone to be concerned about. When the show was over, Swordall, Kira's mentor, intercepted Castian, mentioning, oh, there'd be a lot of paperwork to fill out regarding this spell use. And you all took a back alley to get back towards Faded Skies, the bar owned by Kira's aunt, Halia. Erebus Tide, a wealthy Genasi who had chatted up Siobhan at the show, followed you all, and as you were about halfway there, Sordal had messaged Kira telling him to meet up, though he put on his Bilford Wimley disguise to meet you all. Upon gathering together, you were attacked by some group of assailants that after you defeated them, you found one of those plain porcelain masks, revealing they were likely members of or associated with the Upright. You got back to the bar. There was a long rest, conversations had, and the next day you all were getting ready to go to the big siege ball game until Swordall barged in, letting you all know it was time to go now. He led you all to the basement where he began casting a teleportation circle spell. And as it was being cast, you heard some members of the census barge into the bar, questioning Halia to yours and Swordall's whereabouts. They came downstairs where you were, and combat broke out and while Swordall finished the incantation. Once the spell was cast, you had all been informed you had merely that one round to get into the teleportation circle. Pohaku, having the earliest action there, placed himself by the circle, saying, I will make sure everyone gets out. I got this. You all made your way through one by one, Mannix using a very timely Misty Step to avoid all the possible threats and run in there. Reba drawing a ton of aggro and nearly getting dropped. Only reason she didn't is because she's a half-orc. And it came down to Kira and Swordall. Kira nearly didn't make it out by a mage cage being brought up around him, but you were able to dispel it and get out of there. Pohaku had burned his opportunity to get out by using a counterspell to counter the counterspell that was tried on Kira's dispel magic. At that moment, a mage cage was brought up around Swordall, creating his ability to move and making it inert. Swordall used his last moment before the portal closed to telekinetically throw Pohaku through the portal, which closed behind him. And that's where we get back to you all. As the portal closes behind you, you find yourself in this sort of dilapidated, almost rundown, sort of like where a shack meets a cabin. Some of the windows are broken out, and you can see across the way through one of the windows, looks to be about maybe 500-600 feet off the train platform of the Verdant Sanctuary, known as the one safe place to stop within the Whispering Wood. As this happens, before anything else, because you counterspelled a counterspell, Pohaku, I need you to roll percentile dice for me.
Oh, balls.
Okay.
Can't triple stamp a double stamp.
Great. This is fine. Everything's fine.
That is 23.
23. So, as you all are gathering your bearings, you all look over, and as you see Pohaku, you can see that his skin has become this bright, vibrant shade of blue.
How is it always that one?
I don't know. But because people roll 23s and 24s a lot, I guess. But
So what happens when you go through a dimension door? Is it we all kind of like fall out on top of each other, or
so you would have landed in the order you came in, you went in through. So you don't quite end up like landing on top of each other. Like no one's taking damage from this, but you are all in very close proximity. Some of you may have like a limb or two on top of someone else, but you're not going to be like a vertical stack or anything.
Mhm.
So,
So
as
like
Pohaku
you're not stacked up
tumbles-
like a super shaggy sandwich.
as Pohaku tumbles out, all you see is him scrambling to get back up to his feet. No, and he is trying to get back through the portal, which is now closed. But he is just frantically trying to get through and get back.
Heroes
No,
is just
no,
gonna
no.
slowly put his hand on Pohaku's shoulder.
I had promised Halia I wasn't, but how do we get back?
We can't. Not until I'm stronger.
No.
What happened?
Pohaku saved me. Sword'll save Pohaku.
They put him in some sort of cage.
It's
He
specifically a restraint to deal with spellcasters.
I'm so sorry. Now is not the time, but I have to say. Oh, so they caged the elephant.
Give yourself inspiration.
Oh, that hurts.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know it's wrong. All right.
No rest for the wicked.
How fast can we get back? Can we take horses? I mean, I don't really know what distance we just traveled.
Yeah, where the heck are we?
We went quite a ways. Pohaku, want to tell them where we're at?
what?
Look around. Tell them where we are.
And Pohaku, just glancing through the windows, you would instantly recognize this is the Whispering Wood. This is the Verdant Sanctuary. Like, you know this place. Garnet, you've seen it numerous times going by on the train.
He sent us to the wood. We're in the Verdant Sanctuary.
Oh
We
no.
have to get back.
Well, how fast can we get back from here,
Okay.
Pohaku? What is
So
there?
what did Reba say?
I mean, well, this is your neck of the woods, right? So to speak. Can you get us horses to get back? I mean, I don't. How do we get back?
You take the train. It's the only way in and out of here.
The train?
And
It's the only safe way.
Kira, you would know that taking the train from here north into the Empire, the first stop is a city known as Greengate. And it's called that because it is a very heavy fortification in case any nasty beasties come out of the wood. So while taking the train is possible, you would know it might be a dangerous way to travel because it is a very heavily fortified settlement, basically a military city.
We'd head up to Greengate, but that couldn't have been anything other than Castian's doing. And if that's the case, then we can't go through what is basically an Imperial citadel.
Oh, feck, are we all wanted now?
I've always been wanted.
He teleported us here. I don't know. Maybe somebody, maybe Busara can. I wrote down when he got us to Halia's. I wrote down the symbols. I just don't know how to use them yet. I don't know.
All right. Looking around, I think we're all beat to shite. We need a moment to regroup. We can't go right back anyway. Let's figure out where the feck we are, and well, we know where we are. Let's figure out how to what to do. Reba, do you have any? Who's hurt the worst? Who's?
Yeah.
I need everyone to give me a round of perception checks.
I was gonna say Reba. Actually, I think is hurt the worst. I am distracted. That's what we're gonna call this.
Yeah,
Huh.
I'm actually going to give myself disadvantage if that's okay, because I feel like he is pretty shook up right now.
You'd also have disadvantage to that level of exhaustion.
Yep.
That's right.
I got a 15.
19.
14, 2 15s on the dice.
Very nice.
I also got 14.
Okay. So, Pohaku, Reba, Mannix, Siobhan, you notice this. Kira, you're too shooken up from
Yep.
what just happened to pay much attention around there. And Garnet, you might have the biggest heart of anyone here. Your focus is very on Kira right now. The rest of you notice it's a very brief but bright light that appears, because you can just barely see the train platform. There's some foliage in the way, but again, you can see it. It looks about 500-600 feet away, and you can see a handful of figures that have just appeared there, and they seem to be moving about with a very heavy intent. Mannix and Reba, I'm letting you use your passive as a base on this. I'm bumping your perception up to a 19. Because Mannix, you also got a high score. You can see on these one of these individuals. There's a very large minotaur, fairly lightly armored, but carrying just this huge maul that's crackling with some sort of energy on it. And on the left breast of this sort of the vest that he wears over this light leather armor, you can see what looks sort of to be like a decaying skull on it. Mannix, you've seen this symbol before, being a resident of the Empire, and Reba, you saw this symbol before you stowed away to get to the assemblage. You two know that this is the symbol of the Hallowed Regiment.
Oh fuck!
And they, you know how when there's like they say, like, you know, there's a situation, so we're gonna call in authorities, and then when it's heavily, they call in like SWAT. This is sort of the equivalent of the Empire's SWAT team.
Oh, shit.
Have they seen us?
You don't think they have, because you guys are inside of a building, and you're looking outside to like a clear area. So there are some bushes, a little bit of vines, like I said, some foliage that obscures a bit, but there's no light being emitted from inside of this building. There are no lamps or anything lit. So you feel like unless you went and like pressed your face up to the fucking window, you don't think you would draw attention. But you can see there are about a half dozen figures there. You can see, you obviously can't hear them from this distance, but even from this far away, you can tell the shape of a minotaur, and they are pointing out some directions, and you can see what they look like. They are sort of like intently searching just that area around the platform.
Well, Reba immediately like gets down and tells everyone to hide and points the figures out to anyone who didn't see them.
Ohaku has fallen to his knees in front of Kira and is sobbing and apologizing profusely.
Ohaku, just stop. I
But-
told him to shove you through.
We'll get him back. I will make this up. I will make this right.
It's not your fault.
Say, Kira, you would know two things for certain. One, the tactics they were using, the fact that mage cages were employed. They unquestionably were trying to take someone or multiple people alive. Like, you don't use mage cages when you're trying to kill your quarry. And you also know that if there's anybody who can hold the census up in red tape to delay any sort of imprisonment or, I hate to say it, but you know the possibility could be their execution, Swordall knows all the rules inside and out. While you definitely know he's not in a good place, if there's anybody that could prolong the inevitable, whatever that inevitable may be, you know that's him.
Castian is gonna want information, and he's gonna want to find me. And he knows he can only get that out of Swordall, which means whenever we're strong enough to go back, Swordall will still be there. He has to be.
We'll make this right.
But for now, we need to... I know why you sent us here, and... like everything else he does, it was for me. The only person who's going to be able to tell me what happened when my dad died is hiding somewhere in these woods. I always wanted to take on his last mission, and I did not think it would be like this. But we've got to find that woman and track her down, and the best way might be to reconnect with your family. They'd know their way around the wood.
Anything's happened, they know about it.
Vaughn, do me a favor. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh dear. They assume I'm weak. That's a 19.
Did you roll that with advantage?
Uh-huh.
Very good. Okay. Thank you. You said 19? Awesome. Thank you.
Do I feel anything or just...
No.
Just flex my brain.
Well, you know what? Give me a perception check to see if you notice anything.
Probably not. It's a 10.
No, you briefly kind of just get this uneasy sense, but considering where you are, considering
And what's going on? Yeah.
that all adds up. If anything feels normal right now, it's how uneasy you feel.
So while the boys were talking, I in Reba's head am gonna be like, right, so who the fuck are they?
They're the guys outside looking for us. They are a little higher level than your average mage hunters or witch hunters. We need to do whatever we can to avoid them and keep them from finding us. And I don't know these woods. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to accomplish that. I don't know if it's safer to stay put or fucking run. but we do not want to get involved with them, especially not right now. We will not win that fight.
Right. Please hold. And I'm going to psychically contact Garnet and be like, so the Svickers outside are super bad news if you hadn't caught it yourself. We need your boy to we need your man to lead us out of here, but he's a bit devastated at the moment, it looks like, and I figure you're the best to be able to comfort him. Divide and conquer. I'll try to calm down Kira. You can try to calm down Haku, because I think we're proper fucked if we don't get out of here right soon.
Understood.
Reba,
Yes.
what's your armor class?
16, and also while this is happening, I would like to be healing.
Sure. Are you casting, like, who you're casting healing spells on?
Well, yeah, first of all, myself. Who looks rough?
Everyone but Kira.
Everyone but Kira?
Mhm.
Because I was like trying to wait for a nice moment to do it, since, you know. But at some point, she does want to go over to Pahaku and, like, put a hand on his shoulder while he's, you know, having his crisis, and cast Cure Wounds and tell him, you know, Sordal made the sacrifice he did because he wanted to be on your side. And that's... Now you have to be on your own side, too. You gotta forgive yourself.
As you say that, the words Sordal made the sacrifice that he did, these
Nope.
two arms grab a hold of you, and Reba, you feel yourself pulled against a wall, and you can all see this now armored individual, battle axe in hand. The battle axe is at Reba's throat. The armor looks kind of like old, faded, somewhat decayed. You can see a middle-aged, dark-skinned male human, age lines around the eyes and face. He's got a fairly heavy beard, and his hair is tied back in dreads. He's, what the fuck happened to Sordal? Explain what happened to him and who you all are. And I'll let you know right now, I am not alone.
So immediately, Siobhan has her glaive, like, at this guy's neck.
Everybody, quiet.
Also, Pahakuru gains 18 hit points.
That's a lot of hit points.
Sordal's
More than doubled me.
Sordal's in trouble. He sent us because we were too. And if you
Make a
don't
persuasion
let go
check.
of my friend, you will lose your arms.
Make a persuasion or an intimidation. Your
It's
choice.
intimidation.
Can I
Kira is
assist
in
with
no
that?
mood to be
Intimidation.
fucked with today.
I think between Siobhan and I, we're both getting ready to, like, daggers are drawn and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, can Reba, like, help Kira with the intimidation check by just starting to fucking growl in this man's arms?
I would say, with the position you're in, Reba, no.
Not
But you can-
intimidating?
you-
Look
You
at his face,
can-
it's fine.
Don't need the help. It's already a 22.
I was gonna say.
As you say that, like, Reba, you feel the arm, the left arm that's holding you, go loose a bit, and the battle axe comes away. This individually hooks the axe on his belt. He goes, who are you? He's looking at you, Kira.
Who's still in his fucking Bilford costume.
Yeah.
Jesus
were.
Christ. God
Yep.
damn it.
Big serious moment. You're basically Groucho Marx.
Yeah. All you need to know is that I'm a friend of Sordal's and he sent us here.
And all you need to know is I'm a friend of Sordal's, and he told us to worry if people came through and he didn't.
Yes, we're all very worried about all of that. Just
Can I
point
get-
of order, sir.
Do I trust that he's not trying to lie to me right now?
Make an insight check, and then also make a history check, as you can see a very faded insignia on the left breast of his armor.
So that's a 14 for the insight. I'm printing a larger dice tower. And that's a 19 for the history.
This is a really tense moment. You're still dealing with a lot of emotions. You just came through this portal. Sortle's behind. The friggin' hallowed regiment are not far away. Trying to read this individual, you're just not sure. You don't know whether or not to believe them. So you're definitely not feeling like, oh, they're lying, or yeah, they're telling the whole truth. With the 19, however, the symbol that was there, it's very faded, almost burned away by some sort of energy or essence. But because of what your father's career path was on, and because of what you wanted your own to be on, you would recognize this symbol was once that of the Obsidian Covenant, which is the crown guard that protects the Empire. Whoever this person is, they were part of that at some point.
I hope you know I'm about to make a very, very stupid leap of faith right now. And if for some reason that is a mistake, your death will be slow. And I start to take off the Bilford disguise. Karazaro Larire.
Holy shit, you're the Bolts kid. Hey, everyone, you can come on out.
I'm gonna need you to be significantly more quiet because I don't know if you've noticed, but there's members of the feckin' what were they called? The bloody SWAT team?
Hallowed Regiment.
No, this is in character.
Okay. Okay.
They're like the bloody census SWAT team is out there, and we really need them not to find us.
And as you're saying that, three other individuals will appear, an invisibility spell that was on them being dropped. You see this crimson-skinned tiefling, white-colored hair tied back in a very tight ponytail. So, apologies. Gaspar is a bit on the loud side at times. And Gaspar, I think it is best you listen to what the lady says. And you will also notice the individual that was focusing on the spell that's fading. You can see this this kobold in these flowing sorcerer's robes, as well as a Firbolg who had their fists at the ready, and you can see they're lowering their hands out of a fighting stance, and they were standing right behind you, Siobhan.
Like she's gonna try not to jump, kind of jump, and be like, "Oh, this day just keeps getting feckin' better."
The dark-skinned man that was addressed as Gaspar said, "Well, if you all are friends of Sordal, and seeing that we have you in our midst, we have no reason to think otherwise. I would say your day did just get a little better. We've been hiding out here for quite some time, so if you want to not get spotted, we can definitely assist with that." So what the fuck happened? What do you mean is he okay? Like,
It was definitely a capture order, not a kill order. But
that's something.
so there's a whole lot, and I just start to go into like a very quick overview of the upright and Castian's connection to that, and a specific note that Castian was not in the group that was sent to come capture us,
Right.
as well as they weren't like full ranking in a squad census members, that they are like more rank and file mage catchers.
He takes this all in. Well, I guess the rot still remains, even all these years later. Some shit never changes, no matter how much you want it to. And he's going to look over at, I'm guessing Mannix and Siobhan are probably the two that look the most hurt right now.
Mannix doesn't look great.
Siobhan looks about 1/3 healthy.
Mannix looks 1/6 healthy.
Ooh.
Jesus.
He's gonna go over to you, Mannix, and gesturing to one of your wounds. Saying, "May I assist?"
But by all means, assist. But please, if you're going to address one of my wounds, please address that one.
Okay, and he's going to cast a second level Cure Wounds on you. You will heal. Ooh, that's a good bonus. 18 hit points of healing to you. And
18 is 2.5 times as many hit points as he had.
And
Whoa.
Siobhan, he will ask if he can for you as well.
All right.
So go and give yourself 16 points of healing, as he will cast a second level Cure Wounds on you.
I am no longer bloodied.
How's Garnet looking?
Not bloodied.
Not bloodied? Okay.
Must be fucking nice.
Must be fucking nice.
Well, if that
Hiding
is,
has its advantages.
if that is in fact the regiment that's out there looking for you all, they're obviously going to be set up, most likely for a while, and wouldn't be surprised if they took that platform out of commission, or at least do everything they can to keep those they don't want from accessing it. We've got sort of a really tricked out panic room in this place. If you guys want something to eat, it's not much, but it's what we can offer. And well, the shape you're all in, if they found this place, whether or not we are underground, I think we'd all be fucked. So why don't we just relax a bit out of sight? Unless you have pressing plans at the moment.
That sounds great.
Would Kira know how many of them would be in that regiment?
I mean, you would have seen them just glancing out the window. There's about a half dozen of them over there right now. You would also know that the Hallowed Regiment, they almost never operate as a full group as far as like their leaders are concerned. It is, you take one of them, they grab they pick the group of census soldiers they want to take with, usually elite level members, and that's who goes on it. So
okay,
if you ever see more than one member wearing the insignia, at the same place, things are probably real bad.
Okay.
Okay.
We definitely need to rest. And we should rest.
And the kobold looking over. Well, rest you shall have. He will open up this panel of the floor, and you can see there's this stairway that leads downward. And you can see from the bottom of the stairs there is some light emanating. One of you lead them the way, and then after you all, and we'll have a chat and a bite to eat. And as you all head down, following Gaspar and this tiefling that you haven't learned the name of yet, they open up a large double door that leads into this very large, this cavernous room. You can see just kind of floating balls of light throughout that keep it illuminated. Some very makeshift furniture about. Some of it is just sort of like piled up dirt with like a blanket on it, or a couple of cushions that have a very crudely put together frame for a chair. And there's a small fire that's got a cauldron over it. And those of you who understand what happens when you burn wood of smoke coming off, you have this moment of concern of going, there's no ventilation in here, and you quickly pick up, this bonfire is completely magical in its source. So it's just magical heat on this. The kobold. I have none. Introductions. Yes, I am Muggs, and I will be your head of hospitality for the, for as ever long as you're here until you leave, or I'm not good at the socialization thing. How about we eat? And very quickly produces a handful of bowls, just scooping a small amount of whatever this gruel is in there, and we'll hand it out. Good berry porridge. Hopefully it's good and keeps. I paid handsomely for those berries, so we'll see how it all goes. Bon appetit.
Thank you. Is this place light tight? You said there were some like balls of light keeping it.
Yeah, you're basically in sort of like an underground dirt dome. So there's no need for windows here. So the upside is none of this light is getting out. The downside is you have no way to see if there were any sort of threat coming your way. And as
pulls out the disco ball, I think this calls for some sparkle.
And as you activate the disco ball, the bright lights spinning about, the fearbolg that was ready to strike at Siobhan, she'll kind of go over to it. Well, this ain't one of the most marvelous things I've ever seen.
It's kind of like our safety disco ball.
I like that. So, well, welcome to our little hovel here. I'm Ian Ellis. I guess, well, it's more my home than any of the rest of theirs, so I suppose I should be the one welcoming you. Take a load off.
Sorry, can you say what your name was again?
Ian Ellis.
Ian Ellis.
Y'all can
You know.
take a load off. Put your feet up. We do got the shower in the back. Water's about lukewarm at best though. But if if you all get cleaned up, got plenty of provisions. You can kick your shoes off and stay a spell if you need, but sounds like y'all got places to be. Again, like Gaspar said, if your friend's a sword, all your friends are ours.
DM question.
Yeah.
Are we even hungry? I feel like we've been awake for like 30 minutes.
I mean, depends on how hungry you feel when you wake up, usually.
It's like I don't remember if I feel like I was having breakfast before shit went sideways.
So, I mean, you may have no appetite at all. Like they're just doing their best to give some sort of hospitality to all of you.
Kira's just gonna sit down and bam Fumbani back from the pocket dimension that he's been in for a while. Sorry I had to hide you so long, bud. And then just kind of sit there clutching the sending stone.
Gaspar is gonna approach you, Kira. Why did he send you here? Not complaining about having company. We don't get that much. But it doesn't seem like the safest or, I don't know, most convenient place to send people. And I would think a man of his talents would have more teleportation sigils open to him than this.
He did it for me. I've got a ghost to chase.
The fate of Tyree. Well, if you're looking for who I think you're looking for, I can at least point you in the right direction.
We also have, we've got a little something to destroy that... Today's been a lot, and this is a very weird thing to say. We've got to go find and get some help from some hags that we may or may not have a connection to.
Right.
I'm sorry, I just lost my second dad today.
No, you're understandable. The hags I can't help you with a lot. If you want to find Volvris, though, I know near where she is. But before I tell you, I need to know your business with her.
I need to know how he died.
She didn't do it.
But she saw it.
That's possible. But I can tell you definitively that she didn't kill him.
How can you say so definitively?
We've spoke a handful of times for the time I've been here in the wood, which, I won't lie, I've definitely lost track of the number of, I was going to say number of days, I've lost track of the number of months. It's been some time. But I encountered her Not long after Tyree's death, she was running, hiding, scared. I would say I was hunting, but considering the beasts in these woods are smarter than the people, I was foraging, because that's about the only way you find food around here. And she was scared, exhausted, and she asked for help, for some sort of protection. I asked what she was running from, and with what she was able to explain, I knew it was census. And she very much did not know why they were chasing her. And let's just say, well, when you have the talents I do, you can find out if someone is lying. Yeah, I can put up a zone of truth where any words they speak must be honest. I told her I would help her under the single contingency that she willingly submitted to the zone to allow me to know of her honesty.
Look, this is all good and great, and now she's sympathetic, but I just need to find her so I can know who betrayed my father. Single-handedly has made my last 5 years a spiral of hardship and slide my blade into that person's throat.
You'll want to travel northeast. When you get near the edge of the wood to the north, and you can see Stone Spire towering high in the sky. Just to the east of that, you will find a river. That two rivers coming down from the mountain where they meet, where those rivers fork. That river continues to the sea. Where those two meet from the mountain at that fork, that is the Bank of Reflection. She's always near there. It's not a short journey, nor is it a safe one, but, well, if you're here in the wood, you already fucking knew that.
What is your purpose here in the woods?
Staying alive. Let's just say depending on who you asked, I put my faith in the wrong cause. I swore myself to the crown of the Thanamirian Empire, and I never wavered in my devotion to that. And yet, I come to find myself ostracized and hunted. And he touches the charred, decaying symbol on his armor. But I never wavered in my duty.
Was it because of the upright?
What do you know about them?
We know that we don't like them.
They just made a big public move.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
the boogeyman came out and everything.
I'll explain what we saw on the address.
That is beyond concerning. The Hollow Keeper was nothing I ever took seriously. After all, who has time to worry about ghost stories when it is your job to protect the Emperor? But tales of the Upright started becoming all the more common within the Covenant. And unannounced visitors came to demand an audience with the Emperor. I'm sure you don't need to be told this, but I'll say anyways, you don't just demand an audience with the Emperor of the Thanamirian Empire. Not the way it works. I stood against them, stood in their way, and I let them know that under my oath, I would bring every last bit of my wrath upon them if they dared to try and take one more step towards the Emperor's chambers. Before I knew it, I felt my abilities begin to leave me, and my armor became dark, charred. The symbol of the Obsidian Covenant began to burn away. And at the sight of this, my brothers in arms declared me a traitor to the crown. Every member of the Obsidian Covenant is a paladin of the strictest order, and we swear our devotion to the crown of the Thanamirian Empire and all they believe and stand for. It's quite a novel security feature that the Empire has had for generations. For you see, when one breaks their oath, there are physical signs of it. It cannot be hidden. Gifts you have are taken away and replaced with others, dark and horrifying. I swore myself to the crown, and somehow, in this moment, I found myself shunned and sent away. Sordo got me out of the Empire, as I was to be executed for treason against the crown. Now, I had some other help, but I've sworn to keep that a bit of a secret. And Siobhan and Reba, because your passive perception is high enough, both of you would notice Gaspar just kind of give a very brief but very loving look over to the tiefling. So I've been staying here since. I mean, it's not all so bad. I can tell you, Ian Ellis is a decent cook, and it's the one place I knew I would be safe. After all, even if they located me, they'd have to go away from the train platform to get to me and find me. And if there is one thing that the census is very consistent about, it's not traipsing through the Whispering Wood.
Well, there's nothing we can do until after we rest. There's nothing we can do at all.
Would you go back to the place that ostracized you in order to help save the one who saved you? Because Sortle is captured over there and we need to get him back.
For him? Absolutely, I would. But that means you all are going to have to figure out a way back there, because that is not exactly something any of us are capable of.
Ohaku can, as soon as he and I can spend some more time training in magic. Pohaku's near strong enough, and, well, I know training.
Maybe he is, but I don't think the rest of us are. You said that team that they sent after us wasn't like their top squad. We barely all escaped. We were all very hurt. Most of us, you did well for yourself. Most of us are very hurt, and we put nary a scratch on them. Same thing with the ones who jumped us the night before. Well, we did take those out,
No,
but
we
it was...
Killed the fuck out of those guys.
It was hard. It was a close thing. Again, 2 of us were down at one point.
I hate to bring this up, but while we were fighting within the Empire, I was keeping my identity hidden. Pohaku was following my instructions. The 2 of us were not fighting at our full strength.
I admire your bravery. And I want to go back and help Sortle. But I think if we tried to go back now, we'd all be captured.
But we have members of one of the Empire's closest guards. If they came with us, we could turn the tables.
He's not anymore.
He was.
I think he's...
Doesn't matter anymore.
No,
I imagine his name is on the wanted list right by ours.
Well, as flattering as that is, my name's probably still high above yours.
Don't leave someone behind just because you're scared.
Reba, we have to. You think I want to? You think I want to just leave Sordo like that? I know intimately what they are going to do to extract information from him. But I know we can't do anything about it until we get stronger.
I don't like waiting around.
Who said anything about waiting? I said training.
Feels
We
like
aren't Sordal's only friends. I'm sure of that. He's well connected in the Empire. Talia is still back there. He's not alone. Getting ourselves captured just negates everything that he did for us.
And they won't kill him. Not yet. Castian needs me for something. I'm not certain if it's just that I'm the last loose end to completely hiding what happened with Tyree, or if there's something more with whatever the fuck is connected with my mother, if you don't forget that. So Sordal is at least alive. And will be for a while. Which gives us the time to get our shit together so that we can go back and save him when we're stronger. He wouldn't have sent us here if we... He wouldn't have sent us here if he didn't trust us to do that.
The tiefling who is moved closer to the conversation, taking all of this in, is going to look over at you specifically, Garnet, and go, "You are clearly a voice of wisdom amongst your compatriots. Not that she is the only voice of wisdom here. You also strike me as one who knows how to come up with contingency plans and other ways into a place as far as avoiding the front door."
I mean, usually I just talk my way in through the front door. But, sure.
Works well. There is a former associate of mine. I hope you don't mind my asking, as I know it can be rude to assume, but seeing your manner of dress, assessing your talent, knowing that you're gnomish from the nation of Glimmershore, I assume.
Correct.
Wonderful. Then you would have heard of my friend. And as he says this name, it is the name of a very legendary gnomish thief. Ilona Goldcloak often makes her way through this wood. Sometimes it's far up to us. She's quite reliable for bringing in necessities in exchange for interesting plants or fungi that we can gather from here in the wood, and has been quite a valuable resource. I only mention as if you all needed a way out of the wood, if you got to us, we may be able to get her here, and she would be quite the ally for exiting the wood to the south. She knows a few very safe routes to take. I stay here because Gaspar stays here. There could be a way out that way, and she has a soft spot for any that are like her, and you take that to mean gnomish rogues.
That would be an honor just to meet her.
I would say do your business that Gaspar mentioned in the Northeast, whatever else is you may need to do. Uh, make your way back here, and I can guarantee we'll be here, as at least one of the four of us is always home. And sooner or later she'll turn up. I could always send word away once you've gotten here that we have a delivery that needs to go south.
Thank you.
Friends of Swordhill are friends of ours. And if you all want, you can definitely take a short rest for this, without question. You've had that, so if you want to spend some hit dice, hit the short rest button. Unless you want to hunker down long enough to take a long rest, in which case, if there are any conversations you wanted to have that would take up this part of the day, you're welcome to, or we can jump to what the next day would be as you guys decide what all to do next.
Yeah, I see no reason not to take a long rest personally.
I
Yeah.
agree.
We need it.
And the Firbolg Yanellis, well, now I can roll out a few sleeping mats for you all. We'll turn down some of the lights here so you can at least get a little shut eye, and we'll go back topside, get some fresh air, give you all a little privacy. Again, if y'all need anything, we'll just be up top doing a little peek-a-boo. If you're hungry, you see where the cauldron is. It's what we got right now. As far as anything to drink, you'll find some jugs there along the back wall. They've all got water, nice and clean. Don't have anything to offer you to drink other than water, unfortunately. So if you're looking for something a little stronger, I hate to tell you, you are currently shit out of luck.
Your hospitality is appreciated.
Well, my pleasure. And she will go back topside with the rest of them. And if you guys have any conversation you want for each other, you're more than free. Otherwise, you can hit that long rest button.
What's the
Yes,
tiefling's?
please.
What's the tiefling's name? It's the only one I didn't catch.
Name is Wendell Zern.
Okay, you for sure didn't say that.
Correct, but he would have introduced himself.
Yeah. Zern with a Z or an X?
With a Z, Z-U-H-R-N.
Oh, I would never have
With a
guessed.
CT. Churn.
Spelling with fantasy character creators.
So you all are able to... You find rest, not out of comfort, out of sheer exhaustion. Even though you didn't sleep that long ago, sometimes you just have one of those days where you need to just sleep it off, and you're able to get the long rest you need. Some of you have more steady sleep than others. Siobhan, as you sleep, you keep seeing this same image. You find yourself on sort of this endless expanse in all directions, and every now and then you feel like you can feel a set of eyes on you, and you'll turn your head and you'll see a branch with just this very, you can tell by the silhouette, this large silhouette of a bird on it, just kind of looking down in your direction, and it will fly off. You find yourself looking about again, and you'll look away from where the tree is, and looking back, it's gone.
And a few moments later, you'll feel eyes on you again. And you look, and same thing. You see this kind of tree with a branch on it, this silhouette of a bird again fly off. And it happens a handful of times before you wake.
Immediately. Hold on. Immediately, when I wake up, I say, yeah, in my head, I say, Tana,
Yeah.
the feck was that?
I don't know, but it felt familiar.
I thought I couldn't dream.
You can't.
Okay, so hold on. This is Jamie asking. Literally, Siobhan has never had any other dream except for the day that she her parents like yeah, okay.
Never.
Yeah.
Until
Okay,
now.
so she pretty fucking freaked out. Okay, good. It was I mean, okay, I don't have to describe it, you're freaking there. What kind of bird was it?
Give me a nature check.
To be great.
Please tell me it was a bird that has a really dumb name.
15.
15. You're not sure the exact bird type, but just from the silhouette, the way it flew, some sort of raptor.
Wasn't by chance a raven, was it, Bjorn?
You don't know.
I've got a bit of a mechanics question. So, as far as the long rest, so is this something where, I mean, yes, we've had a hard day, but is this something where we had the rest last night, woke up, have had this big, action sequence here, and now we're doing it again? Or are we having essentially the full day and then resting and we're waking up tomorrow?
Column B. Like you would have had sort of the full day. A lot of the various I imagine all these conversations didn't happen as one continuous stretch, and we sort of we're used a bit of brevity on sort of the explanations of various things that happened. So probably all these conversations took a good handful of hours. You guys would have had the short rest, get up, stretch your legs a bit. But yeah, so you'd be waking up probably extremely early the next day, because you guys would probably gone to bed on the early side for you all. But yeah, this is a full next day kind of thing.
You're wondering
Reason
how
I
many
asked,
spells you
Ben,
can write down.
Yeah, the reason I'm asking is if I have time to do some of that, and if I do, Pohaku would look for an opportunity to leave our underground area and just get back into the wood.
Sure. And yeah, you would probably have a good 5-6 hours to write spells.
Okay. I will do then 6 out of 8 hours on another level 4 spell.
Love it. Yeah, and Pohaku, you just being back in the wood for the first time in some time, it just feels natural. Right. You can tell the trees haven't forgotten you. Even the ones you've never met. They seem to still somehow know you, your presence. And the air just breathes more comfortably here. Nothing against the cold, fresh air of the Vagabond assemblage, but something about the Whispering Wood just sits differently for you in all ways.
Yeah, when I have the opportunity to leave the underground and get out there, if anyone asks to follow, I just kind of put up a hand. I'll be fine. And he's just going to go, not like miles by any stretch, but he's going to wander off just several hundred yards into the wood and get away from the train station. And that's where he's just going to spend some time meditating, trying to get his bearings back. And the tattooing is almost a form of that meditation for him, as he is trying to make sense of what's been going on.
And as you're headed back after this, having a moment to reflect, to feel more comfortable processing the events of that morning, make a perception check for me.
Would this be before or after my rest for the disadvantage?
This would be before the long rest.
Okay. Wow, that's natural 18 and 19 for 17.
Okay. You, as you're heading back, you hear it before you see it, and it's just the sound of this gentle rustling above you. And you end up looking up, and it's a little difficult to see amongst the various levels of foliage above you, but you can just make out the shape of this fairly large bird that seems to be looking down at you. And normally that wouldn't register with you too much as being anything noteworthy. You're in the woods. There's a bird. That happens. But what makes it interesting is you swear that for a moment you see this glow to the eyes. And it reminds you of Siobhan.
Oh. Can I make I'm not sure if that would be nature, arcana, or something else. See if I can figure out what this thing is.
Go ahead and make an arcana check. You're still at disadvantage because you're exhausted.
That is going to be a 17.
Alrighty. It's not any sort of magic that you know or are aware of, but the way that the eyes briefly glowed as it was looking, you've only met one person, one individual ever in your life that's done that. That's Siobhan.
I'm going to call up to it. I don't know your business here. If you're here to help her, good. If not, there are scarier things than you here, and they will find you.
And it takes a moment, but you hear a voice reply to you in your head. So you do know one like me. The bird will fly off.
When I get back to the group, definitely feeling more settled, got his shit back together, for lack of a better word. First thing he does is to walk over to Kira and just without the panic and fervor of previous, just walks up and gives you a big hug. We'll make this right. We'll make this right.
Y'all are all I've got. And I can't do it without you. So don't you ever scare me like that, like you're not going to come through with me. You are my brother, Pohaku.
Promised our auntie. But I will do my best.
That means you too.
And just give him a tighter hug. A little bit later, I will walk over to Siobhan.
I got Dusty.
Bjorn, with that check, do I know like the type of bird that was? Like, did it register as anything that I've seen or am familiar with?
Yeah, it looked like a very, very large eagle.
I will cast at Siobhan's feet using mold earth and just shape the ground into the image of what I saw. As I was walking, doesn't matter. The thing you do with your eyes, you're the only person I've ever known to do that. And I saw this do the same thing. It seems it said that that you are another like it is. I don't know what that means, but I thought you should know.
When I see the bird that he's created, is it reminiscent of the one that I saw?
Interestingly enough, because the timeline on this would be happening for your dream.
Oh.
So I will say absolutely yes, and you can sort of factor that into your realization waking up, as when you would come out of your dream, you would realize, holy shit, that had the silhouette of the thing created.
See, I don't know much about, well, I know almost nothing about the people that I came from. I don't know anything about shapeshifters. Do you know, it's very hard to turn into a bird, is it not?
Sorry, when is this conversation is happening pre-sleep?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There's different, many of the people that I grew up with, hopefully you'll be able to meet. Many of them have been able to do that and do similar things nearly from birth. It was never that easy for me. It almost seemed natural. I had to study and work and try to figure out how to do what they could do just on their own. And I feel like Yord has helped me with that. And just kind of points to the son of the tattoos across him. It's something that I only recently learned how to do myself. So there's many ways, but it can be done.
Right. Well, I don't know what to make that. I'll ask Tana when I have a moment, but she's right useless generally. No offense to you, Tana, because I know you can hear this, but I ask her, and she speaks in very mystical, oh, that is the way of things. It's like, for feck's sake. A voice in my head make things vaguer. Sorry, I'm having a bad day. Stupid to say, we're all having a bad day.
I don't get a little bit closer and I kind of put my hands on either of your shoulders, lean in and just whisper into your ear. If the voice in your head is telling you something, then let me tell them something as well. Don't fuck with my friend.
I'd like to state for the record that you had to get on your toes to do that because I am taller than you. But
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
sorry,
wow.
I'm just. This is
guy-
important to
this
me.
guy's
This is important to me, guys. In real life, Phoenix is like at least a foot taller than me. I think more. I come to like here.
I mold earth and create a 5-foot step for myself in the shape of the bird. The call.
Bahaku's now standing on an apple box doing his best Tom Cruise impression.
Back down.
Dan,
Uh,
Lena, I think you're trying to help. Don't fuck around with my friends. Help her out.
it's not your fault, by the way. Sortle, it's not your fault.
And he steps back and just looks to you and just very serious look in his eyes. I don't care whose fault it was. We're making it right. And I will burn through as much of the Empire as needs be to make it right. You don't do that to someone. Not him. Kind of Judge Skiro over at Kira.
I know y'all think I'm paranoid.
No, you paranoid. That's besides the point. Carry on.
Which just pops up out of nowhere. The fuck you come from?
See the Mannix just out of a little hole in the ground.
I'm always here. Nobody pays much attention to me. It's kind of nice.
I want to get him back, and we are gonna go get him back. But I don't think the people from the Empire know, with the exception of Kira, I don't think they know how bad the census really is. Because they know what they're told about a protective force. The way they behaved when we were all circled up and attacked, when they came and had a sneak attack to capture one of their own. I've been hearing these stories my whole life. So that's what I knew to expect. I got lulled a bit into a false sense of security because I met a few who were good, but they're very strong and they're very organized. And we were dead foolish to walk around like we did. We were not nearly disguised enough, changed our hair colors. I mean, Erebus recognized us immediately. He's just... And I don't know, he could be with them. It's not fucking clear, but... Assuming what he said was true, that he just saw us at the fair and recognized us because of the frickin' composition of our group. We have to be so much smarter, and we have to be so much stronger than we are right now. We can't... If we go back before we're ready and we're strong enough, then there's no one to help Sortle. Because we'll all be captured too. And he'll probably do something stupid to save us. Again.
This is my first exposure to these people. I've met Kira, met Castian. I don't care about the group, but we'll burn through and we will do whatever is necessary to get him back.
In the Whispering Woods here, is it... You don't have any system of government? Or do you?
Bjorn, what do I know about that?
There's no real like overall system of government for the wood itself. I mean, you will have there are a handful of settlements. Like you would know, for example, in the western part of the wood, there's a settlement known as Coven Cradle, which is basically populated by
Jesus.
hag
That's the
covens.
hag place. Yep.
Yeah,
I
there
remember
are
that.
a lot of them there.
News.
Great.
Yeah, that is one of the few settlements, if you will, that has a name, but like where you were from, it's just kind of the idea of a commune. Really, everyone's just doing everything they can to provide for each other. You guys don't have much of a monetary system, and the group is stronger the more everyone knows and the healthier everyone is. So yeah, that's, I mean, the closest to any sort of form of government would be where the wood leads over into the Fey realm as the sort of the equivalent of the Feywild here, the plane that the Fey and the Dark Elves would live on. The wood has a few parts where the gateways are real.
Would it be fair to say, like, among the branch mothers and the people among whom I have grown up, it's not so much, any sort of a recognized governance as there are, I mean, basically respected elders. It's like they know what they're talking about. We tend to follow
Exactly.
their advice.
The idea of the ones who have a wealth of information would have a higher station in society, purely in the sense that folks would be going to them, asking them questions, or looking to them for guidance because they know more. But if for example, like if one was going out on a hunt, that's where the most skilled trackers would then be looked at as an authority. Like, whatever your talents were, that's where you would have maybe a higher or lower station, but you also would be looked down on if you didn't excel at everything. Nobody can excel at everything. So maybe you're a shitty hunter, but you're actually really good at foraging, and everyone loves you because you can find truffles.
As soon as you said no one excels at everything, I really was waiting for Mannix to pop up again.
There's no point stating the obvious over.
So yes, I do relay that on to you, to you, just basically telling you, that it's really just working together to figure out the best ways to make things work.
And through all
Busara
this,
is one of our. Oh yeah,
I say through all this, Bahaku, your skin is still a very bright, vibrant shade of blue.
Oh sure, okay.
Which none of us react to because we've seen it.
Oh yeah.
There are so many bigger things to deal with.
It probably took a while for him to notice if it wasn't pointed out. Eventually, like especially as he started tattooing. What the? Whatever.
This is Navi era.
What's that?
I was going to say Smurf, but I think Navi is a little more applicable with it being from the woods.
Yeah, he's a square, but he's not Smurf sized. He's full medium sized creature.
Square.
It's a big square. This guy.
Right.
But yeah, I tell you about Busara being just one of the people that we listen to. She knows a lot, and she was the one who was telling us about if we did need to find the hag covens. She recommended if we can find grandmother's house. Otherwise, there is the coven cradle. I feel like every time we've talked about hags, everybody has gotten really weird. But as long as you follow the rules, it's fine.
Right. Well, we don't know the rules, so. But
Here they are.
scroll. I don't know if I
Well,
carry something iron and.
we can ask Bosara more when we get back. If we get a chance to see her, I would like to visit if we can.
I think that's where we probably should head, honestly. You're the only one around here who has, any knowledge of the area or allies.
I can certainly guide us back to them, although I know it's going to be important that we find the Bank of Reflection as well. What would be closer, actually, Bjorn? The Bank of Reflection or where my group is? Where we are?
Let's see here. Your group would be.
I actually do have our world map pulled up here. I see Bank of Reflection. I'm just not sure where we are right now.
So where you are, if you see where it says the Whispering Wood in big letters on there,
Yeah.
you are just beneath that in the Verdant Sanctuary.
Oh, okay. So it's the way to go. Okay.
And so
Is it Branch Mother's Den? That would be
basically home for you.
okay. So
So you
it's
can
not. They're not too far from each other.
No, not far at all.
Okay. Oh, this may not be the time for it. I'll just ask though. Now that I'm looking at the map, I do see grandmother's house southwest of where we are, but you
That
said
is.
that it actually moved around.
So yeah, you would know it's real similar to like Baba Yaga's hut in that it's not stationary, and
So I know it's not like it's all over the wood, but I don't know the exact location that it's going to be.
right, you would know two things: is one, the approximate area where you're going to find it, and also to find it requires specific instructions where you can approach it either from the east or from the west, but you must cross the river before you go through the woods to find it.
And that shouldn't be a problem. We're on the opposite side of the river, so that's good. Yeah, I don't think I would bring that up at this time, but before we set out, so probably when everybody wakes up, we've had our rest, I will broach that and kind of mention the two different directions that we can go, because they are pretty much opposite of each other, with grandmother's house being closer.
I mean, I've got my vote, but I shouldn't be. I don't want to be making this plan.
I'd really like to meet your family, Polaku.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know they'd love to meet you.
I think it might
All
be
of you.
smart to get more advice on the wood and grandmother.
We'll just be walking the other direction, but yeah, we probably don't just want to barge in unannounced.
Siobhan's right. We need to be smart.
Okay.
While we're all here, I'd just like to say I propose. Rules are too strict. I propose a consideration for the sisters. No martyrs.
Siobhan immediately turns and looks pointedly at Reba.
I prefer the term team player.
That's literally the opposite. Martyrs are fucking dangerous.
I appreciate that everyone wants to protect everyone else and be the one to stand in the front and go down if someone's going to go down. But if you're prepared to be a martyr, sometimes that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and there are other ways to get out of the situation. So just please keep that in mind.
Right.
All right, what do you think? Robert's Rules of Order. I second this proposal.
Third.
Abstentions?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Oaku simply looks at the group and specifically to Garnet. I will never martyr myself. But if it's between you or me or him,
Oaku, I appreciate that. I just need you to know the only reason I was willing to leave that room is because I knew you were going to follow. So I need to know you're going to follow. That's all.
I'll keep you safe.
Yeah, honestly, the insisting on protecting everyone else is gimmick infringement, and I need you to... Siobhan, 1000%
Let's not get away
watches...
from what's most important here. As long as everyone is protecting me, I think that's clearly... I have no desire to become a martyr, because I understand you give up your oxygen privileges when that's the
I'm
case.
pretty sure, even if I were to suggest being a martyr, I mean, Mannix's own self-preservation more than makes up for it. But
You say that, but I need you really quickly. Spell martyr. I
In
said
which
really quickly. That
language?
was not quickly enough. All of them.
there is a Pohaku makes a gesture,
Yeah,
and
yeah, okay.
mold earth in front of you. It's spelled out in abyssal, common, draconic, druidic, and primordial.
Siobhan also makes a gesture.
Mannix checks the draconic. All right, fair enough.
It's like Siobhan also makes a gesture, but it's a different one.
Mannix just looks at her disapprovingly. Just such language. Such. It's beyond you, my dear.
So, to grandmother's house we go?
Wait, sorry. I think I got confused by the two possible plans. Grandmother's house is to destroy the
It would be to destroy the sword. We are closer to it, but it takes us the other direction from both the Bank of Reflection as well as the rest of my people. We could go straight to Grandma's house if we can find it, but it may be kind of nods over towards Garnet. It may be wise, as she suggested, to get more information before we simply barge in. That would be rude.
I'd like to go to the Bank of Reflection.
Okay.
That's at least where we're doing what Sordo wanted. It feels like he was much smarter than any of us, and we're trying to do the smart thing. And then also...
If we're talking about doing the smart thing, once I figure out who, I will not be able to do the smart thing. So, I think that should be the last bit of information we get. Because I don't trust me to do the smart thing.
I trust you, Kira. And you don't know until you know.
If you don't know, now you know.
Now, I'll leave it to the rest of y'all to make the plan. Just let me know. I need a minute.
All right. So, Oaxaca's people first. Get more information.
They're real close to the Bank of Reflection.
Right. That first, and we don't have to decide anything else until then.
Yeah.
And you will all have a edible breakfast of
Breakfast.
good berry gruel.
I know, I was like, edible. I'm like,
It's
I'm very stressed. Like,
It might not hurt.
it's makes you feel all right. You will not. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
No.
I would also, since we're in the freaking whispering wood, don't feel a lot of danger around that dagger anymore. So I would like the opportunity to get a closer look at my goods on that too.
And by a closer look, does that mean you want to attune to it? Do you want to start the attunement process? Do you want to give it a whirl?
given your tone of voice, I would say no.
That's always my tone of voice.
No, that was
Anyone in this group have the ability to give me more information before trying to do so? It doesn't sound like it.
Does
Yeah.
anyone have identify is what she's asking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or even a detect magic.
One moment. I do have identify. Yes.
Everyone into the spell books.
Hey, Haku, can you take a look at this dagger? I don't know if it's just fancy or extra fancy, but I'd love to know what you could tell me about it, if anything.
Okay. I will do that for you.
So upon using identify on this dagger, you find out a few things. Like one, it is the blade shimmers like platinum, and the handle is made from black pearl. This dagger would give you +2 to attack and damage rolls. Also, when attuned to this dagger, you gain heightened social graces, giving you proficiency in history as well as proficiency with the Dragon Chess set. If you are attuned to this dagger and it is within 60 feet of you, you can use a bonus action to utter the command word return, and the dagger will fly to your hand. Also, it has 1 magical charge, and once per day, the charge can be used to cast the spell Unseen Servant.
I'd like to attend to it, please.
So go into your inventory. You should have access. If you look up, it's called the Court Dagger. It's a little homebrew thing I created.
oh, rethink my my feelings about thievery. Like, wait, what? That sounds amazing. I don't have any badass magic items.
So yeah, I tell you, I don't know. It's a dagger. Nothing fancy.
Well, you didn't tell me that it was going to hurt me, so I'm okay with it.
Oh.
Yeah, you're fine. This one is not cursed.
Probably.
No.
You'll find out.
I hate you.
So y'all are going to begin to set out northeasterly towards Branch Mother's Den.
Do we get our long rest?
Oh, you definitely get your long rest. And then Siobhan, since that stuff would have happened before, where the shape of the bird was shown to you via the Shape Earth spell, would you have anything else that you would want to say in the interaction with Tana and all that? Because I don't want to.
Yes, thank
take
you.
away that. Yeah, I don't want to take away that moment for you because things kind of happen
Yes.
different time wise when you're taking a little downtime there.
So remind me, it's like I would see it out of the corner of my eye, but no, I turn around and it wouldn't be there.
You would kind of see it out of the corner of your eye. You would turn and it would be there and it would fly off.
Ah.
And when you kind of look in the direction it was gone. And then when you look back where the tree was gone. And then you would feel it looking again. And this happened a few times.
Yes, because I feel like I would have tried to talk to it since I knew that it had talked to Pahaku.
Anytime that you tried to speak, it would just fly away before you could get words out. Like, you didn't feel like you had full control of yourself in whatever this existence was, or everything you did. It was kind of like you were moving through molasses, like sort of a half step behind. So you'd want to do something that would come to you slowly.
All right. So I wake up frustrated and frustrated more than freaked out, and say, yeah, same sort of thing. Tana, you saw that shite, I assume.
Yeah,
The fuck was that thing?
I don't know, but it felt familiar.
Like it was a familiar?
No.
Oh.
Definitely not.
Oh. Right. I thought I cracked the case. We got two people with bird familiars. I'm like, let's go! Right. So, was it a giant eagle or like a big eagle?
You would go into like a giant eagle, like somebody your size could have ridden on its back.
New career goal.
Super fun.
Siobhan now wants to ride a giant eagle into battle. That's the coolest thing I've ever even conceived. All right. Yeah, so a giant eagle talking to Bahaku, won't talk to me. Feels familiar to you, so apparently we're not worried. Well, that's the end of my insight. There we go. Get back to me later if something comes to you, won't you?
I'll keep listening. I'll see if I can hear or perceive or connect to anything or anyone.
Hold on. I have to look up something before I can ask, because I've forgotten the name. Okay, so when you're not talking to me, are you and Ashara just having a little kiki?
I mean, sometimes, but mostly I'm just listening.
Oh, did you hear Pahaku try to threaten you then?
It was nice. He cares.
No, it was nice. I just thought it was funny. It's just like, I don't know how you're gonna fight the voice in my head, but good luck to you.
I'm
Alright.
a listener, not a fighter.
Well, I'm a fighter.
I guess we make a good team then.
Anna, I'm scared.
I know. No matter what happens, I'm here. Because I'm here, that means you've started to understand who you are. And I know it took longer than it was supposed to for that, but some good things have happened.
All right, well. I keep thinking if I keep my eyes closed and don't get out of bed, we won't have to get up and go through the Whispering Wood. How long do you think I can fake it?
Oh, I don't know. Probably until Reba gets restless and she just comes shakes you awake enthusiastically.
So another 15, 20 seconds, you're saying?
If that.
All right. Siobhan cracks one eye open and immediately looks to see how close Reba is to coming over, and she like,
Reba seems chill. Reba's not any closer to coming over until the moment Siobhan closes that eye. And then
there's like,
charges.
no, I saw you're awake.
Reba makes a stealth check.
Yes, please.
Okay.
You're making this against Siobhan's passive perception because her eyes are closed.
Oh.
To get
Let's see, because it's not. Oh, I have disadvantage, so that might not be as good as I was.
Yeah, you do.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, not bad though. I got a dirty 20.
Oh, that's better than my passive.
Yeah, Siobhan, you're listening real well. I mean, your brothers tried to sneak up on you quite a bit at times. Not be with siblings. For a moment, and it's just long enough of a moment, you forget something about Reba, that she used to sneak around in that former life of hers. And so, Reba, you are able to sneak up and just full on tackle, pulling the blanket over Siobhan's head and thrashing about before you make her get up and get out of bed.
How are you still in bed?
No, the sheets have accepted me. I'm one of their own now. It took a long time to gain their trust. It's a crucial moment for me. I can't leave.
They'll be here. They'll be here waiting for you. Come on, up and at 'em. Let's go. Mannix is already on his 5th cup of coffee. We got a motor.
All right, if I get eaten by a plant, on your head be it.
I mean, a plant on my head would not look very good.
Right, that's exactly what I meant. Well gathered.
And so you gather yourselves, bid your farewells, or at least farewell for now, to the quartet of individuals that gave you a little safe place to rest your head and your eyes. Glancing across the way to the train platform, you can see anywhere where light was being emitted from it seems to have all been shut down. You don't see anyone over there now. You get the sense that the individuals probably didn't want to wait forever for anyone to show up, and they would have had no idea if you guys just took off through the wood. The platform looks like it's completely out of service at the moment. Any trains coming through here aren't going to be stopping the verdant sanctuary. As you all begin to make your way to the northeast, I need someone to go ahead and give me a little survival check to see how well you navigate. Who wants to do the survival check?
Haku?
Yeah.
I mean, I know the area, but I'm not good at that.
Mannix is wired off of 5 cups of coffee and volunteers despite the fact that he's probably not that great at it.
Love it. Manic Soul, give me a survival check.
8!
Awesome. So as you are all...
Oh, sorry. Real quick.
Yeah.
Just a quick little piece of flavor here. So for the first time since all the way back in Harmony Creek, Pohaku is not wearing the fancy new suit that he's got. That is put away. He is also not wearing his championship belts and other knickknacks. He is just in what looks like basically kind of like a hide and grass skirt, and just kind of has like a harness strapped over him. And he's just feeling much more free. But yeah, he's back in his native clothes.
Oh, Haku. Here's the disco ball. But also here's my unused siege ball kit of the Empire team. I know you wanted to come with some gifts, and we didn't have necessarily time to buy a lot of stuff.
I take the siege ball gift, but when you hand me the disco ball, this was yours. I gave it to you. Are you sure?
No, it's kind of the safety gift disco ball, but if you wanted to give it to your family, I don't know how many family member gifts you need.
Give you a hug, and I'll take it for now. I'll make sure it goes to good use.
And so as you are traipsing along this way, Mannix leading the way very confidently, and all of you surprisingly having a difficult time keeping up with a extremely motivated and caffeinated Dragonborn. And Mannix very much is projecting vocally the direction he wishes you to go. And you think you feel it before you hear it.
Yeah, there we go.
And you realize you definitely hear it also. Boom. And looking over, you can see this one like fairly large puddle as it ripples as this impact hits the ground. And it doesn't take but a moment later that you see what this was. Is two massive, like gigantic lizard-like Tyrannosaurus Rex. You see two T-Rexes bust through the bush. I need you to roll for initiative.
God, what?
No!
We let the dragon lead us to Rexes.
Fuck yes! Dino time! God damn it.
Dynamite?
I
Dynamite not!
definitely would have given Garnet the D8 with
Gift of alacrity.
Thank you.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So,
I'm just so
25 to
mad.
20.
Wait, I've got to roll. I'm too mad. Okay.
Did you get Garnet?
23.
Yeah. 20 to 15.
15.
So that's an 18 for Siobhan and a 15 for Reba.
Yep.
Kira, Mannix, what'd you guys get?
10.
14.
Also 10. I'm good at this, just not with the dice today, apparently.
All right, so top of the round, you can see there are these two just like massive T-Rexes. They look aggressive, and they are clearly heading for you because of how thick the foliage is here. They're kind of busting through. This is sort of a very clever girl moment.
No!
Yeah, as they are right there. Garnet, what do you want to do?
Hide.
Make a stealth check there, Garnet. There's plenty to hide in, around, and under, so I'm not going to be like, what are you hiding under?
22. Let me know if I need to add my D8.
You feel pretty good about that. You're small, and there are lots of places to hide, and they're like, looking about. None of them seem to be looking right at you.
So that was my bonus action. So for my action, I will hold a I'm going to hold a psychic dagger attack if they attack one of my friends.
Okay, love it. That is your turn. You are holding that. Siobhan, you are up. Reba, you are on deck. They look hungry and aggressive.
Bonus action, I would like to rage.
Yeah, you
Hells
would.
yes, you do. As you see them you just bring on that ancestral energy, the prismatic power just coming off of Siobhan. And what do you want to do?
I just need to say this for the record. The rage is somehow fueled from the meta knowledge of Jamie going, Bjorn's doing the description of the Tyrannosaurus Rexes from Jurassic Park. That's fun. And somehow not clocking that there were going to be Tyrannosaurus Rexes that attacked us. Okay. All right. So,
Briefly, I'll interject. Hey, Phoenix, remember how you asked me, hey, has Pohaku ever seen dinosaurs? Well,
Oh yeah.
here you go, baby.
Yeah,
Mhm.
what I'm remembering is how you said we might not need roll 20 today.
the glare. So, is one of them
Give it
closer?
around. Sure.
I attack the closer one.
Love it. Give me 2 attack rolls.
Oh no! That's terrible. That was a 17 to hit.
Oh, 17 definitely hits.
Oh, okay.
They big. They're not hard to hit.
What the hell am I looking at? Oh. For some reason I was looking at a light hammer. Like, why would I attack it with that? Oh, I wouldn't. Alright. So that's terribly 9 points of damage.
All right, 9 points of damage. You bring your glaive right up into the side of this creature, very much hurting it. Go give me your second attack.
Alright, that is another 17.
Yep, still hits. Give me damage, please.
Oh, I forgot to add rage bonus. So
I'll add the 2 on there.
okay. So this one I am remembering it, so it's 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. And you all watch as Siobhan, not wasting any damn time with this big, nasty lizard, this Godzilla, if you will, as she just brings up her glaive into it twice, cutting in, definitely doing some damage. It is focused down at you and angry as the Ancestral Guardian tendrils kind of grab onto it. That will be Reba. It is now your turn. Mannix, you are on deck.
I would like both dinos to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. All right. Alrighty. I got a 12 and a 17.
The 17 saves, but for the 12, I've cast Cause Fear, and it is now frightened.
So you watch as the one that Siobhan is fighting seems to have no effect on him. It's really locked in there. But this other one, like, it looks at you, and you can just see its eyes kind of just get wide at the sight of you. And then on Cause Fear, does that mean it just can't get closer to you, or does it have to, like, run away on its turn?
The target is frightened of you until the spell ends. The frightened target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, so whatever the frightened effect is.
Okay, so that means if it attacks you, it has disadvantage on you, and it can't move any closer to you.
I
And so I'm gonna
thought
say,
frightened meant
since-
it had to run away?
No, that's a different spell. But I'm going to say because of the kind of Theater of the Binding, this right now, it's not going to be able to get into melee, like right up next to any of you guys. So I'm going to have to look at how much range it has on its secondary attack.
Great.
Okay, so yeah, that's real good. Anything for your? Well, since you cast that spell, you don't have any.
I don't really have any bonus actions I can do. Yeah.
So Mannix, you are up.
Mannix just looks at the T-Rex who has taken some damage. Just shakes his head. Poor beastie. Bong! And Toll the Dead.
Very nice. What's the save on that? It's a wisdom, I believe.
Wisdom 16.
That is 15. So with the level you're at, that'd be 2d12 necrotic damage.
First one was good, last one not. Second one not so much. That'll be 10 points of necrotic damage.
So you hear this creature roar out in pain as just this dolorous sound is within its head. Well done on that, Mannix. Anything for your bonus action?
Just gonna continue glaring at the T-Rexes.
Alrighty. Well, the one that is locked in combat with Siobhan, that's that one's turn. So it's going to make a couple attacks on you, Siobhan.
Yeah.
So it is going to First, going to try and bite you. That is a 27 to hit.
Yeah.
Just a casual 27.
So that is going to be 28 points of piercing damage, halved to 14, and you are considered grappled as you are in its jaws. It can't make its tail attack on you, so the tail attack, I'm just going to roll randomly to see which one of you guys it is. Okay, Kira, tail attack's coming at you.
A disadvantage.
Yep. Does a 21 hit you, Kira?
It does.
Alrighty. So you are take. Let's see here. 11. You take 18 points of bludgeoning damage as its massive tail collides with your body.
Halved.
That's right. So
Oh, yeah.
You feel as the tail begins to collide with you, you can feel it slowed down by the pull of Siobhan's ancestral guardian ability. Kira, it is now your turn. Pohaku, you are on deck.
Held action.
Oh yeah, your held action.
Yeah.
Yeah, attack that T-Rex, and you'll get sneak attack on this.
Alright. That is
That attack will
15
be
to hit.
at advantage because you are very well hidden.
Still just 15 to hit.
It's plenty. They have a garbage. Their AC is 13. I'll tell you right now.
Alright. 18 points of
18
damage.
points of damage as your psychic blade flies out, connecting with this T-Rex. Definitely doing some damage. All right, Kira, you're up. Haku's on deck.
Kira's gonna kind of, I guess, run sideways a bit, trying to see kind of around these Rexes so that he can hit both of them, but kind of the back of them, as he's going to spend 2 sorcery points to quicken cast Ice Storm on both of them. I need dexterity saving throws from these two.
This will shock you. They don't have bonuses to that.
Yep.
That's an 11 and a 4.
Both of those fail, which means they're going to take reading, some bludgeoning damage, and some cold damage. The bludgeoning is a cool 13, and the cold damage is 14.
So you
And
all
they
watch
are
that.
in rough terrain. It's
Excellent.
a 20-foot cylinder.
So you watch as Kira unleashes it, targeting sort of like the back part of their body so that you don't, totally smack Siobhan, who's in the jaws of one of them. They're big enough that I will absolutely allow that. So some quality damage done. Pohaku, you are
And
up.
then,
Oh.
with my action,
yeah.
I'd like
Oh,
to
that's
swing
right.
with the Nimbus brand on the one that's holding Siobhan.
Do it. Make an attack roll.
And that is a 25 to hit.
Just hits.
Yeah, and so that is 8 piercing and an extra 2 cold.
So you find yourself stabbing up into one of the wounds that she had already.
Or I'm sorry,
Open.
it's 2 lightning.
Okay, so you stab upwards and just kind of like just sending this jolt of electricity partway through its body. Siobhan, you're up so high that it's not traveling enough to really affect you. Like you feel it slightly, but it almost feels like a little bit of back massage on there. The jolt
Oh.
going through, yeah, it's kind of working out one of those spots. Like, all right, that's not too bad. All right, Baku, what do you got?
Okay, so as my bonus action, I'm going to. Oh, let's go with. Yeah, okay. Well, this is easy. As a bonus action, I'm going to start dancing. So I am entering Blade Song, and it feels good to be back out in the woods and just feeling the earth under my feet. But he just throws his head back in exultation and is going to he's gonna, because I can't do two of those at the same time. Okay, yeah, he's going to, this is not a magical attack. This is just going to be stabbing with the dagger to start off with here.
Are you going against the one holding Siobhan or the other one?
Correct, yes, definitely the one holding Siobhan. That's a 16 to hit.
Definitely hits. Give me some damage, please.
And that is going to be 9 points of damage. And then for his second attack, he's going to cast a cantrip, and he is trying a different strategy this time, maybe not getting quite as aggressive. And he casts Blade Ward on himself.
Very nice. Okay. And so, yeah, you all watch Paku going into this blade dance that you haven't seen in some time, especially him in his more traditional clothes. And so, yeah, you go out there making the attack, and then your Blade Ward up some protection. That is going to bring it to the other T-Rex's turn. Its reach is long enough that it can make an attack still. It can't get closer, but I did see it's got a long-ass reach. So we're going to try and bite you, Baku.
All right.
That is going to be... I should probably keep my... that's a 22 to hit.
Shield.
Oh, wait, that should be a disadvantage. No, that one's not disadvantage. I'm sorry.
Wait, you said this is the one that was frightened, right?
Yes, it would have disadvantage on you, Reba.
No, it's disadvantage in general.
As long as it can see what it's afraid of.
As long as it can
Oh,
see her.
you're right. So never mind. This attack completely misses you as I rolled a 14.
Okay, that does miss.
So it's going to swing its tail at you, Reba.
With disadvantage.
Oh, yes. I don't think a 13 hits you.
No, it doesn't.
So the bite comes in your direction, Pahaku, and you just kind of dodge out of the way of its jaws. And Reba, as this tail comes out, it's happened to use its full reach to do it. You just put your shield up, blocking it away. Nothing doing there. That brings it to Garnet. You are up.
Okay. I'm gonna keep attacking the one attacking Siobhan.
All right, make an attack roll, please.
And I'm a little closer than like for Tucker, but I'm with 20 feet of it, so I can use my fancy new dagger because I need to see how this thing works.
Definitely.
Okay, yeah, 24 to hit.
That'll definitely hit.
That is 17 points of damage. And then I'll recall it for my bonus action.
Nice.
And
So
then I'm gonna move it.
as Garnet, drawing this dagger outward, throws it at the T-Rex, hitting it again in the same wound that everyone has been tagging on. It roars out in pain, and you say return, and it comes back to your hand. End of your
Shakes it
turn.
out a little bit. I'm not used to there being blood.
At the end of your turn, Garnet, all of you hear this sound, this
No.
rumbling from the
No.
sky above.
No.
Dark storm clouds rolling in as suddenly that's a fail on that dex save. This bolt of lightning comes downward into the T-Rex that's holding Siobhan, again hitting the back half of its body, and it roars out. And as the lightning subsides, you will all watch as this massive bird comes flying in, landing on the ground next to you all, and you watch as the bird turns into a humanoid shape. It looks at this husk of a T-Rex falling to the ground. Siobhan, you pop out of its jaws, flipping forward, landing, and you land within only a few feet of this individual. The one T-Rex falling causes the other one, already afraid. It goes bounding off through the woods. And this individual, they look at the T-Rex, they come and they turn to look to you, Siobhan, and you see pale skin, slightly elfish features, and glowing Kalishtar eyes. We can pick up from there.
Great. Okay.
So yeah, we'll see exactly what that means and who this person is Next time we get to all that, hey, dinosaurs, and now you know why. See, Pahaku, now you know why you'll have access to all of them. Welcome to the Whispering Wood, or should I say Jurassic Park.
God damn it.
And that means
There are
Wait.
dinosaurs.
Nope,
in
Hear
the
the
no more, no more,
Whispering Wood.
no
Wait,
more.
Wait, what if it was? What if it's the melodica version that's really bad?
oh, no.
No.
No. Okay.
Holy fucking
Nope,
shit.
stop.
So on that note, we'll see what other things go bump in the day at night, who this Kalishtar individual is, and let you all continue your journey on to the Branch Mother's Den. But that's for next time when we get to see what chaos
Whispering
awaits.
words are scary in the dark.